This digital journey started at the beginning of COVID, which made me think that because of the isolation, because of the lockdown, we have to rethink the way how we produce art and culture. So I came up with this concept called Nation 2.0. So Nation 2.0 is an initiative that wants to promote artists and creatives that are not represented by galleries, that are mostly independent online. They have their work on different platforms. So the idea is that we want to promote their work and we want to make sure that they reach a wider audience. So that was before the boom of NFT. So I had this kind of idea in mind with my little knowledge of digital art and this whole digital ecosystem. So what I had in mind to do what usually a curator does in the real world: commission artists, work with the artists to create a work for an exhibition, for a physical space. I mean, in a digital space. So what happened? The criteria was the same, but the only difference is that instead of commissioning the artist for the physical space, we commission the artist for the digital space. And we don't want necessarily to create an artwork that it's called digital art or web art or whatever it was called, but we want to give the artist the space, the digital space, the blank page basically of the browser to create anything that could be conceptualized and represented in the web browser. So the artists were free to use coding, platforms such as Tilda or ReadyMag. I'm not sure if you are familiar with these platforms. And of course, virtual reality, virtual tour, etc. Now I'm going to show you very briefly an example, the most tangible example, which was the commission to Isaac Sullivan. So Isaac Sullivan has a project called Hypothetical Space, and what we did, we decided to. What we see here now is the final result, but you can see the strings from the browser. The idea is that you put on a full screen and you don't see anything. You just see the experience. So what you do here, you enter in this hypothetical space, which is a virtual space, of course, and you scroll down. You can interact with the images. So, and each image is interactive. So you can click on it. You can scroll down. You can experience the whole thing as you can see. Sorry. As you can see, everything. I mean, each page is basically a new space. The project is developed in a labyrinthic method. So basically, it's like a maze. You enter. You know where you enter, but you don't know when, where, and if you're gonna exit from this maze. Okay, so we have another project on the back side, which is called. Excuse me 1 second. Okay, this was a project by Patrick Lichki. These are only a few portion of the virtual reality experience that he did. Basically, what he did during the lockdown, he managed to leave Abu Dhabi to get a permit to go all around the other Emirates and create this hypothetical space scanned through a phone, through an app that I don't remember now the name. It's an app that has been discontinued, by the way. And when he scanned these locations, of course the scan is not done perfectly 360 degrees, so there are like parts missing. So there are like images that are lacking, that allow these kind of like unfinished aesthetics to take place. this is one of the project, and this was developed during COVID, before the NFT boom. Now, I'm going to tell you what happened during all this time. I work to develop another project. Basically, I curate this project. I was asked by UE NFT, which is a UE-based collector, to develop a project in celebration of the 50th anniversary of the UAE. So the idea is that we want to invite, he wanted to invite 7 international artists to commission them to create an artwork for the National Day, to celebrate the National Day. And here what happened, I did basically what a curator does. Meeting the artists, talking about the concept, discussing with them the ideas, and at some point come up with the final artwork. So here we have Crystal Bechara, we have Anantra Nadamel, we have Thomas Dubois, Matar Milhaj, Aref Norouzi, Kaiwan, and Jassim. So some of them are artists that are already familiar with the digital space, with the digital world. Some of them are completely new. And in this case, for example, Matar Milhaj, we introduce him to the NFT and to the metaverse world. And what we did, we basically asked him to create an animation based on his concept that he usually does for his sculptures. And what he did here, specifically, he used the element of the bargil. I mean, each one of these small brick is represented the bargil. I'm sure you know the bargil is the element that is on top of the UAE buildings that allows air to circulate in the building. So just to say that because of these 50 years of celebration, basically the UAE has gone through, from desert to Mars, has gone through a lot of things. So culture, in this case, the bargil represents the culture of the UAE, allows the society to continue to evolve and change. And that's why this ball is moving and is rotating. So to come back more on the overall of the project, the idea is that all these editions were given for free, were distributed for free. For basically, you have to only pay the gas fees, and almost 13,200 editions were given away. So that was the project that we work on, which is still active now, because after the 7 days of minting, the editions are now available on OpenSea, and you can buy them for a very good price. I will leave it open now for you to ask questions, any kind of questions. I mean, I'm sure that this is between these two projects, Nation 2.0 and UE NFT, there are a lot of things to discuss. So I'd rather open the conversation and accept any questions that, if you have any.
How does somebody get on your radar as an artist?
Okay, as a traditional curator, I would say it's more like research and word of mouth. In this part of the world especially, it's very much word of mouth, and very recently, not very recently, I would say in the last 7 years, social media for sure. It's, when it comes to NFT and the metaverse, it's definitely social media, and you still rely on your personal contacts, but social media is playing an important role. And I noticed that I just entered in this world in the last 5 months, and I noticed that a lot of collectors, a lot of people that are in this world, they are using, they're not using their real names, they're using I can't remember the name now. But it's very different from the traditional art market.
How can like different artists get in touch with you to showcase their art? Do you have any submissions? Do you have any platform to have submissions so that you can guide them and nurture them?
Yes. So, as I said, there are different ways to get in touch through social media. Usually is a good platform. It depends of the project. Usually, for example, if we have a project for in an exhibition space, usually we rely on proposals that let's say I already received or we already received. But in this new ecosystem, I think everything is happening online. And sadly, I would say that this first impression of Instagram and how many followers you have, unfortunately, this is like affecting our first judgment, which I'm trying to eliminate and to look more at the quality of the work. But when you speak to to all these whoever is doing a drop in NFT, for example, the first thing that they say, you have to look at the community. And the community, of course, is done by people. And by people, it means followers. Whoever has more followers has more impact. It's a bit unfortunate, but I think there is a way to evaluate the quality, to start to evaluate the quality of an artwork from an artist from the quality of his work rather than the followers. There are not so many good quality artists, so there are very few. But again, in the NFT world, it's a different story. So we are trying to adapt. We are trying to understand more in details. I don't think we still know how this is gonna evolve in the upcoming months. But I can imagine that we'll have. We'll narrow it down to more quality, because now there is a boom, and the boom, everything is coming out, right? Like announcement drops, we receive a lot of message, we receive a lot of announcement of NFT drops, but very few are good. I mean, I can see now that there is an artwork from Super Rare there. It's beautiful, and most of these artists on Super Rare are good artists. They have already a proven track history in the real art world, right? So they are transitioning in the art market with in the NFT world with the curated narrative, with the well thought ideas that are it's gonna help them to become more to sell their works. Because at the end of the day, it's all about selling. The interesting thing that we're discussing also in the other room is that I can see this is a very important historic moment, because the artist is finally on top of the food chain in the ecosystem. There is we don't have anymore these the middlemen. We don't have anymore these intimidating the intimidating space, where the intimidating process where you have to go to get accepted from a gallery or something. So if an artist has a good work, he put it online directly and then he has an access. Of course, he has to create his followings, he has to create his community, but it's much more democratic and more open. I don't know, are you an artist? Are you a photographer, right? Yes. So are you doing anything with using the NFT?
Yeah, I've got sort of multiple NFT projects going on. One is also a 50-year anniversary celebration. I've got a few images of women wearing very traditional old wedding-style Emirati clothes. That's on OpenSea, and if you know the Moral Collective, so that's one of the pieces is in their metaverse as well. I've got another NFT project that's utility based, where you need to buy one of the NFTs to book a shoot with me, and the money from the NFTs goes to the artist that's in the image and not to me. So that's how the community is built.
How many editions? No, the second one.
Yeah, so it's on Solana. Right now it's 50, and each one is unique. Each one is different. It's an image of a person in a specific style. I can show you in a second. And the way I minted it with a developer, not on SolSea, because I wanted the royalties to go 50% to me and 50% to the person in the image. So this creates a need for somebody to buy the piece in order to book the next shoot with me. And then when they book the next shoot with me, that piece also becomes an NFT on the next batch. And then on the following batch, you need to buy 2 NFTs to mint your old one. Next batch, 3 NFTs to mint your old one. So you need to keep buying more to mint your NFT. So it keeps reducing the sort of, well, increasing the scarcity.
Okay. And of course 50 because of the 50 celebration, 50-year celebration.
No, that's a completely different one.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's the one that's just pure art. It's photography based. It's just for art, one of one, and there's only one with the Moral Collective, but on OpenSea there's about 12 or 13 or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Are there any other questions? No, I think we are good. Thank you very much.